Okay, part 4 of my solar regulator. It's been I wonder if you can see it out there. There's a place here. You can get the idea that it hasn't been a very nice day today, and the day's just about over, so I haven't been able to do too much with it. It's pretty much the same as yesterday, though I've separated the connection between the collector of the driver transistor and the wire that's feeding this resistor here as an experiment to feed them from 2 different points, but I'm probably going to solder them back together because I haven't found much merit in feeding them from different points. Done a bit of testing today. I'm quite convinced that my general direction of feeding the control board and the drive current from a separate supply than the one I'm actually controlling is the way to go, because it means I can turn on the power transistors a lot harder, which of course is really good for days like this. Although today was so bad the VSR hasn't even clicked through, so I can force it to go into regulation mode like that, just pulling out that pin there, that banana plug. Well, the inverter's kicked in too, but there's very little point in that. Anyway, so I'm running it from over here from the 24 volt board. I've just got it pinged onto this little fused outlet there, and it's lucky it is fused because I did actually blow a fuse earlier when I was mucking around with this new little part to it, which is this here on this board. I'm running out of breadboards too because I keep building things up on them and never finishing them off, so they just always end up filled up with half complete projects. But I think the power and heat levels in this are a little bit too much for breadboard anyway. But this is a very simple device. It's another BD649 Darlington transistor, and it's just got a couple of resistors wide between the base. Well, this one's between the base and the emitter, and this one's between the base and the collector. Power gets fed in through this green clip to the collector, and power gets taken from the emitter by this red lead, which ultimately feeds the board through the meter at the moment, measuring amps. And the idea of this is that in days like this, when everything's quiet and it doesn't need that much current to be driven, then it'll basically take its feed through this 50 ohm resistor and settle down at about, well, as you can see, about 200 milliamps. But then, as it takes a lot more current, this transistor here takes a lot more current to drive this big transistor pack here. The voltage of this resistor here will climb to the point where it will turn on this transistor, which essentially bypasses the resistors. Of course, doing that does create a little bit of a situation where now there's less drive from the resistors to the transistors, so you get a bit of a sort of a what would be the word? Well, not really a servo, sort of a servo effect. You know, it reaches an equilibrium really, but the net result is that as you're taking more current from this, you can actually get more current from it than you would if you were just using a fixed resistor, and when things quieten down, it's not a super low value resistor putting high amounts of current through into the regulator board needlessly. So I've just built it on this at the moment. This may become a dog's body board with little additional circuits that assist the regulator to make it the best it can be. I've gone against my own advice here, you know, putting a heatsink on and removing it if it's unnecessary. Instead, I couldn't be bothered and I haven't put one on. This transistor's warm, but it's mainly from the heating effect of that resistor. I should really move it a bit, but I'll keep an eye on it, of course, tomorrow, if it's sunny tomorrow. If it's wet like this, it won't make any difference. So that's about it really. Once I get this nutted out, then I'll move on to the circuit that switches between the absorption and the float modes. I really haven't done anything with that yet, so there we have it. Part 4 of the solar power regulator, a new old approach.